Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I had the opportunity to get back out to Western Carolina on Veterans Day weekend to continue some of the work that we were doing the last time I was up there. Because of all you guys, we were able to raise about a total of $35,226.04 from Give, Send, Go. And this fundraiser was specifically set up with the intent to provide some sort of temporary shelters to people out there who lost their homes as a result of Hurricane Helene in Western Carolina, the Asheville surrounding areas, all the smaller townships and towns out there. In preparation for that, I reached out to a company called White Duck Outdoors, and I spoke to their head sales representative, and he hooked us up with a discount, which was super nice of him. We ended up buying 26 tents from him, which cost a total of $22,098.11. And that was 26 16-foot canvas tents, waterproof, capable of sleeping, fitting like 5 people in each tent. This was a good way for us to be able to provide some sort of temporary shelter for people out there who lost their homes, or for people that were building homes. We ended up spending another $4,190.42 on wood-burning stoves and fireproof mats for every single tent. And I wanted to make sure that if we were gonna do this, that I had control over making sure that everything was gonna get there. And so this was the easiest way for us to do that. After spending that extra $4,190.42, that left us with approximately $9,160.52 that we didn't spend yet out of the $35K that we raised together. I couldn't have done that without you guys. Like this didn't have anything to do with me. It was all because of you guys sharing it everywhere, because none of the posts got any engagement on any platform. So it had to have it was all because of you guys sharing it. So I really appreciate the help with that. I hadn't spent that money, but I figured, okay, I'm gonna keep this, I'll hang on to it, and when we get up there, I'll find a way to spend it. I'll find a way that's beneficial, that can impact the community, that people can be happy with, and people will be like, yes, okay, we're making a difference. So I'll get to that part, like how we ended up spending that money, later in the video, and you'll be able to see we had a massive impact with that $9,000. We actually spent a little bit more than that. Throughout this video, you're gonna see us, setting up these tents in various locations, giving them to people, talking to different people, conducting some interviews with different folks in the community in various locations. You'll get to see where the tents actually went and who they went to. So that way, hey, this is where all the money we raised for these tents went. And I wanted this all to be transparent so you guys could all see it, because that's super important, because I want to be able to continue to do things down the road in the future to support people whenever we're able to, because that's part of the reason I started social media in the first place, was to be able to help people. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll get right into the video. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. We're back here in the Asheville area, and right now we're at a warehouse that's owned by the Independence Fund and the Save Our Allies group, and we're gonna be doing more work up here to help the people of Western Carolina get set up with some sort of shelters. And we got some pretty big plans for these tents, so we're gonna go ahead and get them loaded up, because we got to go drive out to Green Mountain to pick up some of the volunteers so they can help us set these things up today, up in a place called Doubletree Island. So let's go ahead and get in here. We're gonna get everything loaded up, and we'll get this thing moving. The Save Our Allies folks were lucky enough to be able to lock down this warehouse so they could have a way to store everything as they're continuing the support of the people out here, because obviously there's still a lot to do, and this is an enduring thing. So just for context, these 3 pallets right here are all of the tents that we bought, right? So these are all the 16-foot White Duck Regatta tents, the canvas tents, water repellent, and you can install the stoves in them, which are over here. This is what all the stoves look like. So the stoves are from Sportsman's Guide. They got like a little stove pipe they can go out the top of the tent. You cut a hole in the top, and then you can burn wood in there and heat the whole enclosure. So something that'll help people sustain throughout the winter time. It's gonna be an interesting way that we're using these, and I think you guys are gonna really like it once we get up to where we're going.
We're taking 16. 14, 15, 16. This is gonna be cool when we get these all set up. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right. And this one just got delivered today. So, one mat. I don't know why. I don't understand why Amazon's like, well, 3 mats. I don't understand why they sent 3. They could have sent all 25. It's better than nothing. We'll get them the rest tomorrow. Those fireproof mats are gonna go underneath the stoves, so that way they don't melt the tents, pretty much, because the base of the tents are not fireproof, but that little square that's in the roof that you cut a hole out for the smokestack of those stoves is like fireproof roughly, so it should be good. So now we're gonna head up to Green Mountain and pick up all the rest of the volunteers, and then we're gonna head over to Double Island, which I've never been to Double Island before, but should be interesting. All right, so we are currently about 4 minutes out from the spot we're meeting up with the Save Our Allies folks in Green Mountain to pick up all the volunteers that are gonna help us set all these tents up. Driving through here has been insane because this 2-lane road runs, literally a river runs next to this entire length of this whole road. We had to drive down into Burnsville to get up here because this is way out in the middle of nowhere. And as you've seen, like the river here was raging, and there is an immense amount of damage on this road all along this place. And you can look down and see, like, even look at that right there. Look at that road that's been washed out. That is unreal. Like you can't obviously go on that shoulder of the road anymore because it's gone. It got totally ripped out. Like, it's so crazy. The road just like eroded the banks or the river eroded the banks so bad that the road was collapsing everywhere. And they've got like temporary stoplights to make sure that people are allowing for room to go back and forth. We've seen a ton of dump trucks coming out. I'm assuming they're probably dumping dirt at more washed out locations to continue building the roads, which I would imagine is like, they probably work for the Department of Transportation or something. But that little stream, that little tiny stream down there was at one point, and you can see the direction it was flowing, but at one point that was a raging river during the storm when Hurricane Helene hit. But man, this is God's country out here, man. Like, it is so beautiful. I mean, you got these little small houses on the sides of the mountains, man. Like, this is the kind of place I want to retire when I finish up with my job. I feel most at home in the mountains like this. There's nothing like this anywhere on planet Earth. Appalachian Mountains that is where I belong. This thing was obviously a raging river towards where the directions the trees got pushed, but man, we're literally driving over downed power lines. I think we're coming up on the spot that we're looking for. There's a lot of debris and damage right here, man. Jesus Christ. You know, I'm willing to bet the river must have come all the way up here because you see a bunch of trash in the trees. That's crazy to think of. It went from down there all the way up, which means all these buildings and up here probably all got flooded out. All right, let's go See who's over here. Dude, that flag right there, look at that. What I think of when I see that right there, just given the level of destruction everywhere here, is just the level of perseverance that the American spirit still has. Look at that bridge. That huge bridge got taken out. I think the O.C. Whitson and Sons is the only general store here in Green Mountain. And it's also, I think, the only post office out here too. I believe that this whole operation to fix this up is all being done from Save Our Allies, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a former 7th Group guy.
Oh, nice.
It's just, he found his way here during the hurricane and like literally has not left.
There's so many guys.
Put him on payroll.
So many, you put him on payroll?
Fuck yeah.
That's awesome.
He's my project manager out here.
That's cool,
So,
man.
yeah.
So everybody here is all Save Our Allies.
All the most of the volunteers and everybody are.
Okay.
And he is, and then the general contractor is.
Okay.
So yeah.
And this is the only general store in all of Green Mountain, pretty much?
Yeah. So this is the only thing. So like where you turned off the main highway down there.
Yeah.
There's nothing, and there's nothing north of here until you get into Tennessee. So
no kidding.
There's like one gas station here and there. Like this is the center of the community. All right, let me get us going.
Silo or whatever it is out there.
Yeah, knocked over. Oh, there's one tent right down there. Kind of looks similar to the ones that we're gonna be setting up. Those power lines are down though. Those are probably disconnected.
Yeah, I would say.
Oh, there we go. That's easy in your head. Beware of just beware. That's funny. So the story about this place is it's an old concert venue. And what we're doing here is we're setting up 16 of the tents for the Amish. And the reason why is because the Amish are coming down here in a large amount. Like they're coming down here with like dozens and dozens of people, and they're gonna be building small homes for people. They're working with tiny homes to build tiny homes for people. So we're gonna set up all 16 of these tents so that they can stay here for longer and get more work done so that they can build actual homes for people. So this is gonna go a long way so that the Amish can stay down here and build these tiny homes. Hey, nice to meet you, man. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris?
Everybody calls me Walker.
Walker?
Yeah,
like the
last
Texas Ranger?
No, like Chris Walker.
Like Chris Walker, okay.
I'm not no Chuck Norris.
That's all right. So this is your property?
Yeah, everything on these trees, this side, there's like 30 here and 30 across the street, everything you see.
Okay. So this is an old concert venue?
Yeah.
No kidding.
I have music
The
festival
stage
here.
is right down. We passed the stage on the way up.
There's one of the
Oh, okay, down there.
So I got a great story behind this whole place.
Yeah.
It's all tragic but good. You know.
There's always a mixture.
Yeah. So when I was doing the party, I had a kid working for me when I first moved to Burnsville.
Yeah.
And his dad was sound man. I got to meet Mac Arnold.
Mac Arnold?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely want to talk to Clark. How he got in touch with the Amish, how many people were coming down here, all that stuff.
I was told 50 and they'll be here Friday.
50? And they'll be here Friday and they're going to be building homes for people.
Yeah, I guess this is just going to be the campground for them.
But that's a huge deal. It's going to make a big impact.
I was losing respect for humanity.
Yeah.
And then this happened. It was like tragic. And then all the people that came in from Texas, everywhere. I'd be working with guys for like 3 or 4 days, just cutting trees and clearing roads for people getting out and their homes. And
it's renewed my faith.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the donor. This is Kagan.
Hey, Kagan.
Hey, what's up, man?
Clark Johnson.
Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah. We're here with Clark Johnson in a place called Doubletree Island.
Double Island. It's
Or Double Island.
So this is the Double Island Fire Department district that you're in right here.
Double Island Fire Department District. Okay,
Yes.
How many Amish are coming down?
We have 50 to 60.
50 to 60 Amish. And how did you meet these people?
So they came in through volunteers directly to the fire department.
Okay.
And so basically the fire department put out word that we have people that have no homes.
Yeah.
That are trying to survive in tents, and we have a pretty harch winter up here.
Yeah,
so
it's gonna get real cold.
It's gonna get really cold.
It's already cold right now, and it's only like November 9th, November
8th
9th?
or 9th, something like that. Yeah.
So the fire department got linked up with the Amish because the Amish reached out to them.
Correct. Yes.
And what state are they coming from?
I do not know what state they're coming from. I've got people coming in from every state across the country. It's blown my mind, the amazing people that have shown up to help us out.
Okay, so how long were they planning on staying here for?
So we have a group coming in Wednesday that'll be pre-camp set up, and
Okay.
they will be here Wednesday to Sunday. And then we have a group of 50 to 60 additional volunteers that are showing up with them that will be here from Friday to Sunday. And we're going to be setting 15 tiny homes within the community. This is where we're going to house all of the volunteers.
Yeah.
So we've had at any given time, on average, anywhere from 20 to 30 different volunteers staying on an adjacent property. Now they're going to be hosted on this property. And we brought in power, water, porta potties for them. And now these amazing yurts, bell tents have been donated to us to help house all the volunteers that come in on a regular basis. So after this first group comes in, we continue to get volunteers that show up on a regular basis.
Yeah. Now, is the Amish going to come back after they're done with that first set, or how is that going to work?
There's a chance that we've got a need for about 24. So I think that what we were able to source were 15 for the original set of homes that we have coming in.
Okay.
And so they're going to be setting them, placing them within the community next to the people's homes that have lost their homes.
Yeah.
So they've got housing to live in for the wintertime. And then once we're able to get things rebuilt, then I'm not sure what happens with those homes.
What we're doing with 16 of the tents anyways, we're going to set them up here so that way the Amish have heated structures to live in while they're in the process of setting up these tiny homes for a lot of the families that live out here in the middle of nowhere in, is it Double Island?
Yeah, so
right?
Western North Carolina, technically we are
all over
Green
the place.
Mountain. They're going to basically be working within the Green Mountain district right now.
Okay, so all over Green Mountain,
Correct.
which obviously you've seen like some of the other footage we filmed, like the rivers there, like raged. It was nuts. There's tons of destroyed properties all over the place.
Yeah.
A ton of people lost their homes. So
Parts of Green Mountain just don't exist anymore.
yeah. It's been insane. So this is going to really impact families because we may not be giving these tents to those families, but we're providing them to the Amish so that the Amish can then build those families' homes. Correct. So that is how impactful this is going to be. Are you like friends with a lot of the local fire department people?
I'm a member of the fire department.
Okay, so that's how you guys got linked up. Okay.
Yep, that is correct. I'm a member of the fire department. Chris Walker owns this land.
Yeah.
Chris Walker and I have been partners for years doing different events out here.
Yeah.
So we've gotten in here to try and clean this land up, get it ready for everybody that's coming out so he can host them on his property here.
Yeah.
And we're going to get them set up. So we've got a working volunteer station now. We're also bringing in containers to house food and supplies and other stuff that'll get this community through the winter.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep all that on this properity here, and then we will maintain and manage that from
That's
here.
cool. I appreciate what you guys are doing up here to help the
Appreciate everything.
families out here. And yeah, let's get to work.
Right now I have volunteers staying in the 3 White Ducks tents that I already have up. So,
Yeah.
I pulled, my property got wiped out. It was a fishing camp that I did on the river, and it's gone. So I pulled those out right before the storm, brought them over here, set them up. We've had somebody staying. We've had reservations. People had to reserve them because we didn't have room for everybody.
Yeah. Well, now you will.
Yeah. No,
That's
we're
good.
excited. We are really excited.
Yeah, me too, man. Come take a look at the inside of this thing. There is enough room in this for easily 5 people if you don't have, or 6 people if you don't have a stove. But you can cut a hole right here. This material around this whole hole is fireproof. And then you can stick the smokestack through there. Each one of these comes with a stove that you can burn wood in, and then a fireproof mat to put the stove on, so that way it's good to go. And I mean, it's already pretty warm in here, even without a stove. This is gonna help them a lot. It's making a difference. right, we're back here with the Save Our Allies. Well, we're at the Save Our Allies warehouse right now in Asheville, and we're getting ready to do day 2 of the tent distribution. We also got another item on the agenda today that I think you guys are going to be super happy to be a part of, because we still have about $9,000 left from the fundraiser that we raised around $36,000 for. I'll tell you about it when we get there. It'll be a cool surprise. I think you guys are going to be excited to see what we're going to contribute to and what we're going to put the rest of the money towards. So come with us and you'll see what kind of awesome things we're going to do today. What's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing?
Good, Josh.
Nice to meet you, Josh.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. So, what's the name of this school again for everyone?
This is Fernleaf Community Charter School.
Okay, Fernleaf Community Charter School. It's a school here in Fletcher, North Carolina that got hit during the storm. You can obviously see like the foundation pretty much got ripped out from underneath it all over the place. How bad was the flooding here?
There was 3 feet of water in all 3 buildings.
In all 3 buildings?
All 3 buildings.
Okay. And how many kids go here?
In this elementary campus, there are about 460 kids and over 60 staff.
Okay. How long have you guys been working here for?
My wife and I have been working here for 2 years.
For 2 years? Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you guys do here?
We're the culinary team. We built the before we started here, the school did not have a lunch program, so my wife and I came in and pretty much started from scratch, and the school bought a food truck, and it's a very entrepreneurial thing that we're doing, and it's just blossomed into this amazing food program. Now, currently we're serving around 200 students a day, and about 50 staff usually get lunch. So
during the day, is it open currently right now?
It is. We're since this campus was destroyed, we have a second campus for the middle and high school students.
Okay.
So we're all crammed up into that one campus right now, and there's around 900 students and 100 staff currently.
Well, that's a lot. It's a lot. And you guys are cooking for all of them?
We're cooking for, before we were able to get the students back in, the staff, everyone was just put all of their personal situations aside, and I've never really seen people come together like this to get a school back open. So we scrambled, got everything situated, classrooms, makeshift classrooms, and now we're open and we're cooking for the regular school lunch programs open. People are paying, and we're feeding, like I said, around 250 people a day.
Yeah, like home cooked, healthy, good meals.
Home cooked, healthy. We get our meat, our protein source from Hickory Nut Gap Farm, which is out of Fairview, and
nice.
we work with mountain area produce companies and we do cook from scratch.
That's cool, man.
Yes.
That's good. So the kids are getting like actual healthy meals. They're not eating a bunch of super processed food. That's good. That's what a lot of people would like for their kids, especially now in today's day and age with everything that's going on with people being concerned about all the processed foods and how it's like poisoning people and all that stuff. So that's good to hear that you guys are taking care of the kids like that. So would you mind walking us around here so we can kind of see what it looks like? Sure. And do you have is the kitchen in here so we can see what that looks like too?
The kitchen we're not allowed to go into the buildings.
Okay.
It's super toxic.
Oh.
Super toxic.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can at least walk around for now and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Sounds great.
How long has this school been here for?
This school's been here for at least 10 years.
How did you find out about this school?
My aunt owned a catering company and she retired. My wife was working for her at the time. My wife worked for her for actually about 9 years. So when my aunt retired, she sold the food truck to the school here, and the school called us in and asked us if we wanted to come on board and if it was worth it or not to get this thing going for the kids. And boy, it's just turned into something incredible. It's just incredible.
Yeah, this is very different. I'm not very familiar with how charter schools work, but I know that a lot of folks are kind of choosing to go to charter rather than just plain regular public school for some reason. I don't know what the reasons are behind that, but it's been pretty popular from what people have been telling me. So what are these different buildings?
Okay, so this A building here is the main office.
Okay.
And kindergarten and first grade classes were in here. The second B building was, of course, all classrooms. All 3 buildings are classrooms. I think it was like second and third over here, and then that C building was third and fourth grade students.
Is there a 5th grade?
There is a 5th grade is up at the middle school.
It's at the middle school.
Correct.
Okay. Elementary school has changed a lot for. It used to be 5th grade was part of elementary school, and then 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade is middle. Can we look through the windows?
We can, absolutely.
Okay. I'd like to see what that kind of looks like. Was there bad flooding damage inside of the buildings too?
Everything was destroyed. Everything was flooded with several feet of water. As you can see, the shed here to the left of the building here.
Yeah.
That's not where that was.
Where was that shed before?
It was parallel with the side of this building here, and
wow.
the water floated away full of everything.
So it's so toxic in there. People said that you can't.
Yeah, we're not allowed to go in.
Oh, the water line was up to here. That's how high it was. The water was here. That's crazy because you look around here at all this, and it's like you got parking lot. You know, this is pretty high up from the ground, and there's not even any rivers right next to this. Like, that's unreal.
There's a creek.
The creek that's right over there?
Fletcher Park, which was destroyed also. Just about where that yellow sign is, there's a small creek that runs through here, and the bridge there just runs through the campus property here. Very small creek, and the water was so high here that it just, everything was water. It was a river.
There's like a big, like almost a lake.
Correct.
Almost here. That's insane. I didn't realize that's how, like, that's crazy. You can see for context, like the water line, that's unbelievable. So that means that like half of every building was completely flooded, which means that it's totally ruined.
Everything inside, every single thing inside. No one had time or even anticipated what this was.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was that bad of flooding here in Fletcher even, because there's not like any major rivers running through here, so it must have just been like some of these small streams coming off the bigger rivers that flooded over here, and I mean, obviously this whole area was underwater at one point. Correct. That's just crazy. Yeah. That's nuts.
The railroad tracks that run right through here are all twisted and mangled just as you drive down 25.
Yeah.
And a lot of our picnic tables and things from the school here were on the highway. They floated on the highway.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's walk around the back here and see what it looks like back behind. Oh, wow. Yeah.
All three buildings have foundation damage, either shifted off their foundations or cracked.
Yeah.
As you can see.
If you look over here, you can see all these picnic tables that are just scattered all over the place here. And all of those picnic tables were out in the front before?
They were between the buildings and the courtyard in that little area that we were standing in.
The courtyard?
Mm-hmm.
That's where all of these were. And they all just got lifted up, floated out here. You said some of it got pushed onto the highway, got up over the train tracks onto the highway.
Correct.
That's unreal. You can see all the damage to the foundation for this whole thing, because obviously this was all completely underwater. The water line was like up, like halfway up the window, basically. So now all these elementary school students, you said, they're still attending class, but it's just over at the other location?
Correct.
And you said, was that a high school?
It is a middle and high school.
Okay.
It's originally designed, and to be honest with you, it's a brand new building that was still under construction.
Yeah.
We had half the school open the beginning of the school year, and is designed for expansion, to grow the school, bring more kids in. There's a pretty extensive list, a lottery list, waiting list for students that want to attend the school. So. Okay. Being with the situation we're in now, it's going to be difficult to accept new students into our school, even students that may have been displaced from their schools in this area.
Yeah.
From this storm. So.
Okay.
It's a big deal to us.
Yeah, and you guys are doing like fundraisers for this school, right? Or you got like some sort of, you're trying to raise money to help fix things, or you have you said you had an Amazon wish list or something like that?
I do. I have an Amazon wish list. The C building back here was our dry storage and different restaurant kitchen equipment that we lost. So. Okay. We're trying to get that replaced. For instance, right now, it's taking us at least 2 hours a day after lunch service to wash dishes,
because you don't have a dishwasher or anything like that.
Right.
And you're doing it all up there at the other location?
Correct.
Now, this Amazon wish list, is this going to all go to that other location temporarily, so that way you can use that until this gets refurbished and repaired?
They're going to that other location so that we can be in better position to do lunch service from start to finish. Okay. The better position we are, the more that we can do and the more people we can feed. It's pretty much right now just flying by the seat of our pants just to get through each lunch day.
Okay. And you guys are feeding how many people again over there?
At least 200 a day.
Okay, 200. So you're focused more so on like the elementary school students still over there?
No, it's a school-wide, so
Okay.
all students, kindergarten through 11th grade we have.
Okay.
And staff, of course.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
feed the staff. But
Sure. So what we're gonna do, since we have $9,000 left, is we're gonna buy this whole wish list right now for this elementary school. So we're gonna add to cart. Just go through and add all this to cart. We can add that. Add that. Let's see here. Where are we at now?
So it was one of those I had on there.
Okay, so you only need one.
Correct.
Okay, so take down one. How many of these did you need? The spandex tablecloth?
2, the 8-foot, 6 of those for the 8-foot. I had 10 of these 8-foot tables for our events.
Okay, let's see. We got one of that. Oh, I put 2 of those. You only needed one, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And same with that generator. That generator.
How many of those did you need?
Just one.
Just one? Okay, so we'll go down one on that. How many of these tables did you need?
10.
10, so let's go up to 10, 3, 10. How many of these spandex tablecloths?
6.
6, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one of those.
2 of those. This is for the event.
2 of these?
Correct.
Okay, proceed to checkout. Deliver to this address. Okay, so the order total is $9,161.52. So that goes above and beyond the $9,000 we had left over. So that's good. So that way you guys know that your money's going towards a good cause to help kids. Order placed. Boom. All right, look at that. Place the order for everything. So that'll hopefully set you guys up.
You have no idea
Sweet.
how this is going to help us, the relief it's going to bring us, the joy to the kids, to the school, to the staff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys did this. You guys did this because of all the donations that you guys gave, all the money that you poured out. Obviously, a lot of it's going to tents. We spent like $26,000 on tents, and then we spent another $9,000, a little over $9,000 on this. So now, like, the kids should be able to, like, you guys will be able to have everything you need to support continuing to provide food for these kids while they're going to school. I don't know how hard it is to get people's attention for these things, but this is a huge impacct that you guys made. So this is all because of you. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Happy to help, man. Like it's the whole reason we do this thing. So next thing we're going to be doing is going to your house because we're going to give a tent to him as well because his mother needs one, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep. My mom was displaced during this storm, and she didn't have anywhere to go. So we're very limited on space in our house. We have 3 kids and a couple dogs. It's not the dogs, but
Yeah.
our basement flooded. Our house has black mold in it now because we put everything aside.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, just scrambling initially to deal with the school and everything. We didn't deal with our things that happened in our house. So. With the black mold, it's definitely causing health problems. So I know it sounds crazy, but my mom wants to sleep out, outside. And
Well, they're big tents. We set a bunch of them up yesterday up in, what's it called? Double Island. Well, cool, man. Let's head over there and we'll get this tent set up.
sounds good.
Awesome.
That's why we want to, if we can get our situation smoothed out a little bit, all of these places that we see, just as you're talking about, I picture bringing in our food truck and just feeding people, even the people that are doing the work, the volunteers. Who's taking care of the people, taking care of everyone. And
yeah, that's a lot of churches doing that kind of stuff,
Right.
A lot of churches, a lot of volunteer organizations. I know Hearts with Hands. You ever heard of them?
Yes.
They're in, I think they're based out of Swannanoa. They have been doing food truck stuff since the very beginning, from what I understand. Like, they were bringing food and beverages out to people inside of the city of Asheville before FEMA or anyone was there. Like, the weekend of. Apparently, it was pretty incredible.
It is incredible.
But it's still needed for sure, like you're saying. I mean, like, there's still so much work that needs to be done, and there's still a lot of people that are, their houses are wrecked or their businesses are wrecked, and they need help rebuilding. And it's a slow process, even though it's like still happening, because it's like the grassroots stuff. It's not as well funded as like if it was like a government organization. So most of the communities that have been impacted the most severely are like these small places out in the outskirts of Asheville, surrounding it,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what doesn't get much attention.
No, because they're not going to, everyone knows what the city of Asheville is. A lot of these people don't know what Green Mountain is. They don't know about Burnsville or Barnardsville or, Bat Cave. I mean, a lot of people found out about Chimney Rock because they got so devastated that it was like on national news, you know, but a lot of these other small places, nobody knows what they are, you know.
If you'll see right here, this little tiny creek
probably was a raging river. Flowing that way, I'm assuming, because based on the trees are all pushed down. That's nuts.
Yes, it is.
We're going on 40 days post-hurricane. There are still places without power right now. And there's just still so much debris and damage because there's just no way you can cover all of this, even when federal troops were up here helping out, you know, which they did a really awesome job, like everywhere they were at. You need people, you need bodies, you need more people to come up here and do stuff, you know.
So all of this was underwater.
This is Cane Creek, isn't it?
This is Cane Creek. We'll be taking a right.
Okay, I used to take this road to get to Asheville from the back way.
Nice.
Through Fairview. Man, I haven't been on this road in a long time.
You're gonna see a lot of portions of Cane Creek were underwater completely.
This was a beautiful area too, man, because you're right in this valley between all these mountains, which makes sense why there was probably some damage out here for that reason.
The amount of trees down out here was just, you can't even describe it.
I've been seeing a lot of trees that are cut up on the side of the road from where people had like chopped them up with chainsaws and everything.
Oh yeah.
I got a buddy that lives in Brevard, I believe, near Hendersonville or Flat Rock, that he owns a tree removal service, and like right after the storm, he was just driving around removing trees for people. Like he wasn't even charging them unless it was like dangerous and it was like on their house or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be years of recovery and healing.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time. It's so crazy to see so much damage on all these properties out here.
So down to the right is, you know, Cane Creek is right down there.
Yeah, but this is just such beautiful country. Like rolling hills, mountains up on the sides. Like, I mean, what an awesome place to like live.
It is. That's why we're here. Anytime we've tried to move away, or just growing up, I've always ended up back here. This is it feels safe here.
Yeah, I miss it every time I leave.
And as you can see, FEMA's been here. It looks like they're packing up shop. But
is that a FEMA camp? Look at all of the debris.
Yeah, that's from all out here.
Oh my God, dude. Look at the size of that pile of just debris, wood. That's all stuff that was just removed. Bro, holy cow. That is unreal. That's insane. All of that was moved over here. Good God, dude. That's nuts. And you still see so much stuff laying around everywhere, and there's like these gigantic debris piles like that. It's just unbelievable. This yellow one?
Yep, that's us.
All right.
Here's my mom here.
Hello.
I know your face.
You know my face? The internet's.
No. So tell me a little bit about this White Duck company. How did you come in contact with them?
Well, I was actually in Denver a couple weeks ago, and I was trying to get military tents that you could fit lots of people in.
Right.
And a guy reached out to me and said, hey, check out White Duck. Like, here's their number. They're giving people discounts if they're buying stuff for people for like hurricane relief. And so they actually gave me like a 20% discount for the 26 tents we bought, which was good, so we could get more. They were helping people out.
Man, this is heavy duty.
Yeah. Well, that's why we got them, so that people could.
Wow, this is incredible.
Have something good.
Man, this is a canvas material. No kidding.
Where's your house? Oh. Have you been living in this thing?
Pretty cool if you had a collapse.
This little thing right here?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
My trail tent. So I came back and I was like, well, I'll just turn the tent out.
Makes sense. Yeah. Well, this will be much better than this.
Outside all the time.
Yeah. Well, it'll be better than this for sure. It's like you're on teepee, yeah. Now,
I don't care if you're big or not, man.
So this thing right here, just for your situational awareness, this is fireproof.
Perfect.
So you'll want to cut a circle out yourself out of this. It'll go through the other side if you want to install the stove. I'm going to leave you with one because they come with the stove and a fireproof mat. The fireproof mat has to go under the stove, so because this is not fireproof.
Of course.
This is, so you can stick the stovepipe out this.
Perfect.
And then you can burn wood in here and it'll keep it warm in the wintertime when it starts to like get really cold.
It'll just be nice to get up in the morning and be able to stand up.
Be able to stand up with your own enclosure.
Before I crawl out.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
All right.
Not just for helping me, but what you guys are doing for so many people.
Yeah. Cool, man. It'd be
We
good.
got this from Hickory Nut Gap Farm. I was telling you, this is hot salami that they made.
Oh wow. Check that out, dude.
Y'all can take
Hot
it to your
salami.
buddies, man. It is really good.
That's cool.
Hickory Nut Gap Farm.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate
You'll
that.
enjoy it, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it,
That's the
man.
least we could come up with.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
of course. Yeah, we're gonna get back on the road and get back out there. We got a lot more of these things to give out. So,
Cool.
but yeah, I appreciate it. Enjoy the tent, and you know,
Yeah.
I appreciate it again.
bro.
Best of luck with the school.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, you guys take care.
All right.
All right,
See ya.
yeah, we'll see you around. Good God, dude. So this is all road that runs parallel with the Swannanoa River, and they got hit real hard. We're gonna look and see if there's any people that need housing here, and we're gonna provide it. There's some campers and stuff. Looks like there's some tents over there too. The damage here is nuts. That is insane.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, brother? So I got these 16-foot tents here that I want to give them to people and set them up for people that don't have shelter right now, or lost their homes, or need a home or something temporary while they're rebuilding or something.
Yeah.
And they come with a wood stove that you can burn wood inside of.
Oh,
so
really?
you can heat it. So they're big canvas tents. So I wanted to see if there's anybody up and down here.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, right up the road here, just
Yeah.
keep going straight.
Okay.
Before you get to where the pavement ends, there's a lot of people over here still in tents.
Okay. And there's like families and stuff?
Oh yeah, there's
Okay.
a whole group there, and then you go on down, there's another whole group.
Okay, just on this road?
Yeah, on this road.
Okay, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot. Well, apparently there's some folks that are still living in small Coleman tents or something like that over here. So we're gonna go and bring them some good tents that you can heat, so that way they're not freezing to death in the wintertime here. This community got wrecked, man. Yeah, this is insane, man. There's still so much work. It's been almost 40 days and there's still this much stuff getting worked on over here. I'm amazed that bridge is not destroyed. Look, still a car. Why is this still this jacked up? It's been 40 days. That person's house got totally, God almighty, dude. I hope we find these people soon. It is just insane. This got absolutely destroyed, dude. Ruined. There's so much debris, so much. The whole car flipped over right there, crushed like nothing. Yeah, this is the same exact tent, just different color. You'd think that somebody would be outside or nearby. What's up, brother?
How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Do you know who lives in that tent down there?
Nobody, I'm taking it down.
Okay, nobody lives in there?
Nobody.
Is there anybody here that needs like enclosure still? No? Okay. All right, well, cool, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, you too. That is just nuts looking, dude. Like this whole thing was probably underwater. That's a whole double wide that's just crumpled up back there. Dude, what? That is insane, dude. God, I still got 9 of these things. I want to make sure they get to people that need them. Dude, that's a whole house too. That got destroyed. Look at this, all this standing water that probably wasn't there before. That house got absolutely torched. I'm trying to find if there's anybody out here up along Bee Tree that needs like some sort of temporary shelter.
Well, we had looters hit us twice, and we had a bear come in because the back of the house is tore off. And then we came back and my husband said, there's been a bear here again. I said, bears don't open cabinets, dump stuff on the floor and then close the cabinets.
Yeah.
And so we checked and they had basically went through everything, all the doors and cabinets and everything. Took stuff.
Where would you like it to get set up? And I'll set it up for you. And then if you guys can use it for however you need to like help fix your house and do everything.
If it comes to directions, I got plenty of help.
Would you be all right if I just set it up right here temporarily? Okay. Where do you think a good spot would be? In the grass up there?
What's the
16 foot across? Yeah, it's big. You can stand up tall in it. I mean, I could set it up right here and you got enough space for it. Yeah, 16 foot. Yeah, you can heat it with a wood stove. That's we're gonna give you guys with it too. So while you're working on, oh yeah. Okay.
Pretty easy. You just
look at that.
And the knot won't come out, and you can tow the Queen Elizabeth all the way across the Atlantic with a rope.
There we go. I really ought to learn how to do these things, man.
Their final approval for becoming a Coast Guardsman is to tie a bowline knot in the dark between your legs with a 2-inch rope. A rope that's this big around.
Jesus.
In the dark with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
You have to be able to tie a bowline knot.
Well, that's a valuable skill.
Oh yeah.
We raised a whole bunch of money to buy these for people that lost their homes so that they could use them to live in while they're working on rebuilding. That was the whole point of this thing. So that's what it looked like before.
Mm-hmm. See, like I said, the house is over here.
Yeah.
And the river went down and turned, and it had just a trickle of water in it.
Yeah.
And we had a stand of bamboo. The whole thing was like covered in trees.
Yeah. Very green.
Yeah. And the trees are no longer there.
No. No, they're not.
Like up on the mountain there. And like I said, now it is disaster. And the house is pretty well gone.
Yeah.
And the storage building is gone. My husband opened those windows to let the water out as it was coming through.
Jesus.
Yeah. And so that debris right there is mostly the back deck, because when the house started falling off, it went farther out. That was the back deck. We had a storage building. We had a log barn where he had his lawnmowers and his tractor and everything parked, and they went away too. And
the lawnmower did?
Yeah, both lawnmowers. He had a
Jesus.
tractor in there. Hood for that.
This is from the underside of the house. This right here?
Yeah.
It's crazy how strong water is. I've seen some really large objects get transported by these things, and it's just nuts.
The storage barn washed out. The roofing and stuff you see is off the pole barn where he had his lawnmowers and stuff.
Yeah.
The water hit the front of the shop, went in a couple of feet deep, and then spread out, and we got a ravine there. Somebody towed the car up out of the ravine for us. And
the car was in the ravine?
Yeah. And well, basically what happened to that tree was it washed out, and now it's laying on the roof. His tractor that was up there is underneath that lid right there.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. Like I said, the river used to be over there under those trees on the other side.
Oh, I see. So it shifted the whole river this way. It used to be over there. That oak tree's on its last leg.
I mean, if you figure the yard went almost to those trees there because the creek was on the other side, or, it had a little dip here and up, but we would like to get somebody to put dirt back under that so it doesn't fall in.
You had lawn all the way up to those trees over there.
We had yard with trees.
Yard with trees all the way up to that.
And well, that shed was good 30 feet from the river. So it got undercut badly.
That's just unbelievable, man.
Yeah. Well,
You get dirt in here and fill this all back in.
no, they actually need to get a front end loader in there to move all the rock back this way because dirt would just wash away. But nobody was expecting 29 inches of rain.
No.
Several years ago when Fred hit, we lost a little bit of the bank up there, and Soil and Water Conservation fixed it. And it was, 12 inches of rain in like 6 hours or something. And we weren't expecting much more of that because they were predicting 14 to 16 inches. And the guys up at the water department who have a rain gauge said it was 29 inches in about 10 hours.
Yeah.
And so the water was coming over the bridge and over the road. The people that were in that blue house, they had to evacuate because the house started falling in, and they basically ran up to the road and there were trees down across that road like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
When I took the picture of our road, that was the bridge from here, from the house, and you can see it's a 2-story blue house up there.
Yeah.
That is no longer there.
Oh, wow.
It took the whole thing out.
That's wild. That's the bridge. There's a house, that's blue house right there in that turn. You look back in the background, there's no house. The house is gone. That's unbelievable.
We lost trailer for it is over here because he used to haul firewood and stuff in it and around and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's gone. I had a 3-drawer metal filing cabinet in my bedroom that had picture albums in it. My parents, my grandparents, each of my kids.
Gone. At least you guys are alive.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing to be grateful for. I know that's like, obviously, like given the level of loss you guys have experienced, it's easy to forget, you know, because I mean, like you're saying about the photo albums, like that stuff is irreplaceable, you know. But we're gonna head out of here. We got a few other places we got to stop. So, yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Yeah, it's very nice meeting both of you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for letting us hang out here for a minute and talk to you guys, and best of luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. Yeah, take it easy. Those are some super nice people. I feel horrible that they've lost so much stuff, man. This is just one story. Think about how many thousands and thousands of other people have a very similar story, you know? So, well, we're gonna get back on the road and get back to it. See if we can find some other people that need these things. There we go. What was your name?
Ian Monley.
Ian Monley, it's nice to meet you, man.
You as well.
Are you from around here?
Yeah, I live a half a mile down the road that way.
So what's the name of this spot right here?
So this is Silverados, and we are Valley Strong Disaster Relief. We're
Valley Strong?
501c3, yeah.
Okay. And did you founded the organization?
So it was me and my fiance, Jenna Lee, Corey and Kristen Short, who are the owners of Silverados, and Jason and Amy Ward are the ones that all founded the Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
We were just passing by. We're on the way to the Black Mountain Orphanage to meet up with basically the director over there, the guy behind the camera right now. You don't see him, but he recommended we come over here and bring a couple things over here. So we're gonna drop 2 of the tents off. We just loaded them up inside because I know you guys will be able to find somebody that needs them.
We're still serving between 200 to 500 cars every day. And,
okay.
We're still going out doing deliveries to places where people can't get out. We've got guys in the back going out with tree work, cleanup work, rebuilding of houses, all of that stuff as well.
Okay,
So,
cool. Well, yeah. So I wanted to make sure like we don't run out of time, and we're giving them to people who can then find people that are in need. And you know, obviously the cameraman behind the camera recommended you guys because he knows you guys are a reputable organization. So
appreciate
yeah, but I appreciate what you guys are doing to help the community. Appreciate your time, brother. That thing, dude. That's bananas. That literally looks like somebody just crumpled up this truck. Like, this is insane looking up here, but good God. We are here with Jimmy. What's your last name, Jimmy?
Harmon.
Jimmy Harmon.
Yep.
And this is the Black Mountain Children's Home.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
So, like, this is an orphanage, essentially.
Yeah, it started as an orphanage in 1904. You know, now our kids are kind of orphaned by circumstance to the family court system, but it's the same premise. You know, we just want to offer kids a good, stable home with a mom and a dad. You know, especially when their parents are going through things, or, you know, they might not have parents. So it's a lot of different situations.
Yeah.
But really, we're focused on giving kids a first chance at life.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, this is in Black Mountain, right out here in Western North Carolina. Obviously, you guys got affected by the storm.
That's right.
I would imagine.
Yeah, so our auto shop flooded. So we have an apprenticeship program for kids over the age of 18. They can go to a 4-year school, 2-year school, or we have an on-campus apprenticeship program. And one of those programs is automotive and maintenance. Okay. And so our auto shop got flooded. We also have a retreat center that the other 3 programs are at, and we'll see that in a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to go up there soon.
Yeah, but we had a massive landslide come through, 4,000 foot long. It's about 100 foot wide and about 10, 12 foot deep.
Did any trees fall on that building?
There's several trees that are down. I mean, the trees, the forest is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's thousands of tons of rubble that came down on the camp. So
yeah, I think I've seen some of that on the way up in there before we got rerouted to come back down here.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're gonna do a walkthrough of the children's home here. And you guys are raising money to like fix the grounds and stuff.
Yeah. So especially at the retreat center, it's going to be about $2-3 million for the damage right now.
$2-3 million of damage.
Yeah. And so nobody had flood insurance. Things have had to be reinsured, and we lost 10 buildings over at the retreat center, and they reinsured it at $100,000 deductible per building, which is, you know, the math's pretty simple on that one. And then it's probably going to be another $1 million to get all the rubble moved out as well. So
where are the kids staying in the meantime?
Yeah, so, well, that's just a retreat center. So one of the things that we're trying to do is become independent of government funds. Okay. So the retreat center offers our kids opportunities to learn a job or trade, but it also generates revenue for the ministry here working with kids.
Okay, so is this like a Christian ministry driven project?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is our library. So most of the kids in foster care, only 56% of them graduate high school or get a GED.
Yeah.
And so since 2008, we started tracking it when we built the independent living village across the street. And we have graduated 89.98% of kids who have come through our doors, which is pretty incredible. It's higher than a nuclear family.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, our kids have maintained a 3.0 or better GPA for the past 2.5 years.
Okay.
Which is nuts. So we have an education coordinator who liaisons with the 6 schools that our kids go to.
Yeah.
They go to public schools just like, just normal kids. So here is our campus. And typically on a Sunday afternoon, see a lot of kids playing. It's a little wet and damp out. I just saw some kids come from the gym.
What are the ages of the kids that are here?
From birth through college and beyond.
From birth through college?
Yeah, and beyond. So we have a home on South Campus that's for medically fragile kids, so kids who have experienced fetal alcohol syndrome or been addicted to drugs in utero. We have family.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we have family foster care, so we partner with about 40 families out in the community. We're licensed by North Carolina to identify, train, and license those families, and then place children in those families.
Okay.
The 2 homes on the far end here in the courtyard, those are sibling group homes.
So those are group homes.
Yeah.
So they're living in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So you have 3 sibling groups that live in there and share that space with a married couple who act as a mom and a dad in those.
Gotcha. So the married couple are like kind of like their chaperones for the group home almost.
Yeah. Well, they mentor them, but they also mirror what a family should look like, right?
Okay.
I mean, if everybody has disagreements, nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so the good thing about that is, they're going to have disagreements, but they're going to be able to resolve those disagreements in front of the kids, and without like going off, getting drunk, beating somebody, leaving, shacking up with somebody else, like appropriate relationships. And if we can model that, then we can teach kids how to carry that on after they move on from here.
It provides them an opportunity to have like some sort of a family environment almost.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. But the great thing about it is even if you have sibling groups who are in different houses, they have this open courtyard area.
Okay.
They can come out and they can play together. We have activities at night, like recreation. So on campus, we've got, the recreation goes from 3 to 9 every night.
Yeah.
And then we have clubs, like we have a fishing club. We have a dirt biking club. So we teach our kids how to ride motorcycles. And then we have some of our staff are certified through the Motorcycle Safety Foundation to teach it.
Yeah.
Then we have a mountain bike club. We got a fly fishing club. Like if there's an interest like that our kids have, we'll create a club so we can, again, if your kids wanted to do it, why can't kids in care? Why can't you provide those same opportunities for them? So
yeah,
we really have 3 goals in life, or 3 goals for our organization. The first is to treat every child like we would our own children and grandchildren.
Okay.
The second is to have a standard of excellence in all that we do through our continuum of care that lasts from birth through college and beyond. And then the third is to become independent of government funds. So not only do we do this, we have an independent living village for kids over the age of 18 across the road. And then we have a lifelong.
How many people are staying in that?
So we can have up to 28 over there. So we'll put to bed up to 110 kids tonight. And throughout all of our programs.
Who's up there supervising that, over the 18?
Yeah, so we have 2 coaches. We have a male coach and a female coach, and they take care of the kids up there.
Okay.
So they live on property up there. And then we have lifelong living, and that's for kids with intellectual disabilities that are older. So we have, a 28-year-old male that's living in a duplex that we have. In March of 2020, we acquired the duplex, flipped it with volunteers, and then gave him his forever home in May. So he can stay there for as long as he wants to. If he has a wife, if he has kids, that's his home. And then we have somebody who checks in on him every day just to make sure, or not every day, every week to make sure he's okay. Help him navigate life.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big continuum, man.
Right, so if you want to help donate to the children's home out here in Black Mountain Home.
BlackMountainHome.org. It could be the world's largest or longest website name. So.
Yeah, BlackMountainHome.org. But anyway, you know where to go. BlackMountainHome.org. I know we said it as much as a car commercial, but yeah, obviously you guys are doing some good things. We're going to go up to the retreat center was where we were talking about that got all the damage, right?
Yep.
That's like the big spot that's going to need the repairs done.
That's right. It's pretty overwhelming.
Well, I mean, how long has that been around for?
Since the 1920s. The children's home started in 1904. There was a gentleman named Robert Perry Smith. This building is named after him.
Okay.
And he was basically a church planter. So he'd go around to the hills and hollows of western North Carolina.
Yeah.
And he'd start a church and he checked on it. He'd go to a different church every week. Well, with that, around the turn of the century, he saw a lot of kids who were begging beside the road or building little shanties.
Yeah.
And he was orphaned during the Civil War. So he knew the plight of orphans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he went back to the Presbyterian and he said, guys, we got to do something about this. And they said, well, that's great, Dr. Smith, but how are we going to pay for it?
Yeah.
And so he said, I don't know, but we need to figure it out. Let's call a meeting. So they called a meeting and all the pastors came from around western North Carolina. And there was a little girl, her name was Hazel Johnson. Her dad was a pastor as well. And her dad had promised her the next time that he went to town, if she saved her money, he would swing by a dress shop and she could get a new dress. So she sat in this room in 1904 with these men and they debated back and forth if they could afford it or not. There was a lull in the conversation. And little Hazel Johnson stood up, walked down front, looked Dr. Smith right in the eye and said, Dr. Smith, I was sitting in the back and I came to town with Papa to buy a dress, but God just spoke to me and told me that I should give you my money to start your orphanage. So this place began with the vision of an old man and the gift of 13 pennies from a little girl. And Dr. Smith was smart enough not to spend those pennies, and they're hanging in our boardroom right now. So
that's wild.
Yeah, and so that's why our cafe is named 13 Pennies Cafe.
Let's head up to the retreat center.
Sounds good.
And we'll go from there. I'll follow you out.
Sounds good. So this is the Veterans Memorial Terrace. So the cool thing about this camp, it's an old 4-H camp.
God, this all got flooded.
Yeah.
You see the water line is high up there.
It was a German POW camp in the Second World War.
This was?
Yep. And so the Germans did all the stonework that you see all over camp. And so
the German POWs did.
Yep. It was an officers camp. So that used to be an officers lounge. The Americans were trying to apply them for information and they let them build an officers lounge. And so what we've done is we shoveled that out, mucked it out, and deconstructed the officers lounge down there. Hopefully we can save it. This building,
all this like down here used to be like open.
Yeah, you can see the slate.
There was like slate and there was a
like
fireplace
pavers.
that you could like have a fire outside.
Yep. Yep.
That's a damn shame, man. All that mud and dirt got pushed down in here from the mudslide. Look at that. That got thrown down into it?
Yeah, wait till we walk out here. But the 101st came out and actually helped just hand shovel all this off.
Oh, is this covered?
Yeah, because you can see these pavers. So people have bought pavers to honor their family members who have served.
Okay.
And so my grandfather's here, and that he served in the 26th, and he was NCO trooper, and actually on D-Day dropped behind in Normandy behind the lines, and then fought his way through the European theater. So it meant a ton for me to have the airborne unit come out and do this work.
When did they do that? How many weeks in?
Probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks in?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
What is this?
This used to be a heritage hall. It's a place that people could rent out and,
it was a
have
hall.
retreats. Yeah, it's
this was a whole retreat center hall.
Yeah, it is like 40, 50 foot wide and about 100 foot long. I mean, this is
like a big building used to be here.
Yeah.
And look at all the rubble and trees that just totally ripped this whole building out. Because this is a deck.
Right.
This used to be the deck to that giant building.
Yep.
And there's nothing.
So what was crazy is when the kids moved over here, there was one of the young men that actually had a wraparound porch. So he walked around the porch and he looked up the mountain and he saw the trees walking down the mountain, like vertical, walking down the mountain. He ran back inside. He said, we have to get out of here. We got to get out of that door now. They took a few steps and that's when everything came crashing in and took off a third of that building right there. And so,
dude, that is insane.
It is nuts. And then,
I mean, look at how many trees are stacked up there. There's
and that's not just there, that's all the way up.
The whole way up and
on both sides.
Boulders and
so
that is nuts, man.
So this used to look like that.
Yeah. Like thick, lush.
Yeah.
And now it looks like absolute devastation.
So beyond this structure, we had a hobby hut that was about 20 by 30, an archery range off the back of it. And then we had a cabin that had been moved from the Indian reservation, the Cherokee reservation, in the western part of the state, in a dog trot barn. And all these buildings are toothpicks down here somewhere. You see a little bit of the roof of this structure there, but the rest of it, I mean, it was like in a big rock grinder, man. I mean,
it was just a big rock grinder,
Yeah. It's just gone. And then you see, there were stones that came down, because this wasn't just a slide. It was like an avalanche almost.
Yeah.
And so stones came down the sides of Volkswagens, and one of them clipped that tree off right there. Just gone.
Clipped the tree right off, yeah.
It's just gone. But yeah, it's pretty overwhelming. And I haven't seen a picture that really has been able to do it justice. You stand here, you stand next to boulders that are bigger than you, and you just can't imagine the force.
I can't imagine being out here. Imagine hearing all this stuff come down the mountain, and it was probably coming down at night, I imagine, Yeah,
it was at 8 o'clock in the morning when it came down.
Oh, 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
So it was light out.
Yeah. And so we moved the kids over about 7, and some of those trees down there, those big oak trees, you can see where the mud came all the way up on that one to the left there by that first cabin.
Yeah.
But if you zoomed in, or if we walked down there, you would see pock marks on those trees where boulders, it was like a pinball machine, man. It's a giant pinball machine where things were just bouncing off everything down there. So it's nuts.
It is nuts. If you want to help them out with the retreat center up here, it's blackmountainhome.org. So blackmountainhome.org. I hope people see this video and go to your website and help donate, because I think this is valuable, especially the history piece with the rock work that the German officers did, the POWs and stuff. That's valuable. History is so fleeting, and especially, things that are exposed to the elements like this that could very easily have been, vanished from the earth.
That's right.
So that's pretty cool that it at least survived,
And good or bad, man, that's a part of that's a part of the history of our valley, of this valley. And I think, we're too quick on the trigger to get rid of things, historical, whatever, monuments or whatever. It's just, it's one of those things. We learn from the good times, but we also learn from the bad times, right? Yeah. And so having those things as a reminder, like I said, my grandpa, he fought in World War II.
Yeah.
And every time I come up here, I remember him. And that's a big piece of it. It's a big piece of it. So anyway.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to show me around, man. Absolutely. It means a lot, and I hope that people see this and help you guys out, because I think this is a valuable part of the community up here,
Yeah, it's been
and it's a story that not a lot of people know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, you know, this place, it's been around over 100 years, man, 120 years this year.
Yeah.
And so with that, you know, it's a place that's helped thousands and thousands of kids move on from unfortunate circumstances that are not their fault.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you taking the time to show me around and meeting up with me on this kind of overcast Sunday where it's like a little rainy.
That's it.
We're all done with day 2 of 3 days, essentially, that we're going to be up here for. We managed to, you know, find a couple different families that needed a tent, and then we ended up giving a couple over to an organization that's like vetting people to make sure that they actually need these things. They have a bona fide need. Reputable, you know, organization. We drove all over Swannanoa today and a large amount of Black Mountain. We also got to talk to the Black Mountain Children's Home folks, so you got to see that. So support them if you guys can. We're coming into Green Mountain on day 3, right over here. You can see the river on that side, and the Green Mountain General Store is over here on the right-hand side with a post office. And this is where the Save Our Allies have been working, which they started this project weeks ago, not a few days ago, weeks ago. So we're gonna go in there and see what all they've gotten done since coming here. Like the giant concrete slab that's like over both of those spots, and that whole thing got totally ripped out from the storm. And now you got this gigantic ravine that's left. We're gonna kind of do a quick tour around and see what kind of work they've got done so far, what they're working on still, and what the plan is going forward over here. So check this whole store out. If you look right here, that's where the water line was. It's up to like my neck, right there. Basically 5 feet underwater when the storm was at its worst. So what all have we done? Did they gut all this stuff?
Yeah, so this is what it looked like after we cleaned out and all the mud and everything, and that's that right wall over there.
Jesus. Yeah, so it's obviously, there's been a lot of work done to this thing already. You can see all this wood in this wall is all new. Just put them in yesterday? Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so there was like this was all covered in mud and grime.
And 3 or 4 layers of tile. So
3 or 4 layers of tile.
Yeah. We scraped them all up, and we're gonna patchwork all of this and get 125-year-old boards that match somewhat to put back to keep the character.
You can see, I mean, you got these old ceilings in here, probably super old fire. I mean, you see the curved crown molding, that's a super old school thing. You don't see a lot of that in a lot of new construction. The water line is just crazy. Like,
wait till you see this one in the basement. So this was their main store.
Okay.
And in this building here is where they had wood-burning stoves and.
Was it over the train
and
tracks?
Was
up to it.
It was up to the train tracks?
And then down here was what their feed and everything was. And you can still see the good water line here, right there above my head.
The water line down here, and this is like the basement area kind of, was up. That was like taller than you. You'd be swimming in here. All right, so I'm here with Miss Jane Whitson Peterson, and you're one of the, I guess, the descendants of the original owners.
Yeah, my dad.
Your dad?
O.C. Whitson.
What was his name?
O.C. Whitson.
O.C. Whitson? Okay, and you said you and your brother own this location?
Yes, we do now, yeah.
How long have you guys been here for?
Daddy bought it in 1960, and he retired the last day of 90, and me and my brother took over the first day of 91.
Okay, so you've been running this store for 31 years?
34.
34 years. So for multiple generations, your family's been out here. What happened the day, was the 27th, the 28th of September? What happened that day when you guys were out here? Were you here at the time when the storm hit?
Yes, we were here. I had stayed all night with my mom on Wednesday night.
Okay.
And the river started getting up. I come out at 3 a.m. to check the river because they said it was going to be a bad storm. And I looked up the river, and it was like 3.5 feet below the bridge.
3.5 feet below the bridge.
Yeah.
That used to be there.
I called my brother, and I told him, I said, the river's up. you need to come if you're going to. And he started, he lives across the river.
Okay.
And he started from home, and he called me back, and he said, I can't make it, it's too dark. And he said, I think the river's in the road. And I said, well, you stay home. And when daylight come, I got up and I walked up the river because there's a dip up there. And when it's in there, we know we're going to get it eventually.
Yeah.
So it was already in the river up that way above the bridge. And when I was coming back, Nick come across the bridge. He was the licensed to get to come across the bridge.
Yeah.
And when he come on, the river started coming up. It came up from 11 o'clock really fast.
So there's like a lot of debris coming down there?
Yeah.
Like trees and boulders and stuff?
We saw a house come down.
You saw a house?
Yeah.
A whole house came down?
A whole house come down.
That was probably, I imagine, a pretty terrifying experience.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the bridge turn over, but we felt it.
You felt, were you inside your house?
We was inside the store. That's when we had evacuated, my mom and me and him and my husband evacuated to the upstairs.
Okay, so you were upstairs.
We had to, yeah, because it came in all 3 doors.
Were you stuck upstairs as it was flooding?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we couldn't get out.
Did you stay up there until the water receded?
Yeah, we had to. Well, we actually stayed there for a month.
For a month?
Yeah, we was up there for a month.
How long how long was it before people started coming out to check on you?
Well, it was about 2.5, 3 days before the fire department could get down here because the road was blocked down this way with about 50 trees.
Yeah.
And it was blocked up there with the water and the mud, and the road was gone. Most of the road was gone.
Did you guys have food at least or anything like that, or water?
No, but the next day me and my husband walked across the mountain to my house.
Walked?
Yeah, we had to up through the woods because we couldn't get through any other way.
So you walked over this mountain?
Over the mountain to my house, which we live down that way. I live a mile down. But
how long did that take you to get over the mountain?
Oh, it took us about an hour and a half because all the trees that had fallen.
That was probably, Jesus. But you were okay getting over the mountain? You were able to get over there all right?
We did, in flip-flops.
In flip-flops?
Yeah, because all my shoes washed down the river.
Oh my goodness.
Because most of my stuff was up here with Mom's. Because I stay with her a lot. And I'm here at the store, but...
were you kind of managing the store for the most part?
Me and my brother, yeah.
Okay.
And we come down that next morning and dug out pots and pans that we could use and cleaned them up and washed tubs and got water out of our spring up there.
You guys have well water?
We do, but the river went over it. But we have a spring up the holler. And I had jumped down the river and thrown some PEX pipe up on the walk, and we threw it in the building before it flooded.
Okay.
So we had that pipe, and we run it from the spring box up there down to where we were at, so we'd have fresh water.
Okay, so you had some water at least.
Yeah.
Well, how long has the Save Our Allies team been out here helping you guys out, fix this place up?
They come about 2 weeks after.
About 2 weeks after?
Yeah, and started.
Did you meet the Hunter 7 Foundation folks as well?
Yes.
Okay, they're also good friends of mine too. They're good people.
Sure did, and they've helped us a lot.
Have they?
Yeah.
Were they helping fix up your actual house?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom's house, yeah.
Your mom's house?
Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for them and Save Our Allies and all the veterans that's helped us and all the volunteers, we couldn't have done it all. And we've had volunteers from all over the world.
Yeah.
Or all over the United States anyway.
You guys are the only general store within how far from here?
Well, probably about 10 or 12 miles actually.
Yeah.
You have to go into Mitchell County to get to the other one, so.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big deal for this community when there's no other stores around, you know?
Right.
And then you got the post office right here too.
Right.
Is the post office, since it's a federal establishment, are they the ones that have to come fix it up, or have they said anything about it? Because it's still in kind of a state of disrepair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My mom rents them that part of the building.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll get up here and fix that, because that way you guys can start getting letters and stuff and packages again.
We can get our post office back in Green Mountain where it belongs.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping.
You want to kind of show me around a little bit in here what we got going on?
Yeah.
So you've been running kind of like a supply warehouse for the folks around
people
here?
bring stuff in, and anybody that needs it, they come and get it. We've got propane stoves and heaters and all kind of food, cleaning supplies.
Yeah, you got a ton of stuff in here. That's
we
good.
do, and we've got a lot of clothes, coats and stuff for anybody that needs them.
Okay.
Generators.
Yeah. So you got diapers.
We got diapers and
peanut butter, hand sanitizer, cleaning stuff.
Yeah, all kind of just anything anybody needs if they need it. You know, sleeping bags, quilts.
People have been coming by pretty frequently to get stuff when they need it.
Yeah, they are.
You can look and see the water line up there.
Mm-hmm.
like, it's nuts to think that's how high the water was from where it is right now. I think the best thing you could do is, if you want to help these good people out, you could go to saveourallies.org and donate on there, and that'll help contribute to supporting the family and supporting the renovations of the establishment here in Green Mountain. That's probably the easiest way, because they're all out here. They got a big team of folks out here that are helping renovate and restore the general store here to its former glory, so that way they can continue to support the community and take care of each other out here. So, well, look, I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I wish nothing but the best for you guys, and I hope you can get back on your feet here sooner than later, so you can get back to enjoying your life here in the mountains in North Carolina. And
Me too, and we're doing it.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
coming along faster than we thought, so
That's good.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, again, it's very nice
That's
meeting you,
all. You too.
and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
They said there was like 2 feet of mud in here that they managed to scrape off the floors, but they had to rip all the drywall out because it was probably stinking super bad. And this whole entire thing totally gutted, and they're just gonna leave the air circulating in here to hopefully dry it out. It smells like mold, obviously, because it was submerged. They're gonna have to replace the HVAC system because that was submerged. All the electrics were submerged. And this is just a little small place, because this isn't a big spot, you know, like this is a small town in the middle of nowhere. This is the only general store around here. So like this post office, they had 3 different routes that were being ran here. And it takes time to get out to places like this for post offices, because like the federal government has to take charge of that piece, and very focused on a lot of other like larger communities, and this is a pretty small one. So hopefully they'll get out here and replace it, so that way Green Mountain can get their postal service back up and running. Now we're inside of the Whitson family house right here. You can see everything's been totally gutted. They had the old cellulose insulation everywhere, and it probably got totally soaked. You see they had to gut the entire thing because obviously the water level came up way up in this place. Jeez, what in the world?
That's a lowered shower.
That's a lower?
It's going to be a lower pan. This floor is going to be the same height for them to push Grandma into the shower.
Running brand new electrics to the entire house. Brand new plumbing, new insulation, new everything. They're restoring the whole thing so that these folks have a good place to live. Obviously going to be a lot of work. I mean, this whole thing was underwater. Looks like this used to be an old little mini bathroom, little spot for a toilet pipe to go. Apparently you can get down into the basement. So you see all this wire that's been pulled out that was like ruined. And this is the Whitson family home. They lived right next to the general store, which is right there. So the home's right here, general store's right next door. They were living on the top floor of the general store while the flood was coming in the doors, because this thing was probably mostly underwater.
This over here is not anything to do with Save Our Allies. Over the store it is.
Okay, this was all done, was this mostly Hunter 7 Foundation?
No, this has nothing to do with a foundation. This has to do with me and my brother from church.
Okay.
We're the ones that are putting all this together. Everything in the house is taken care of.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the group out of PA are resources for us that are doing the wells for here and the church.
Oh, they're setting up a new well for you and the church?
Oh, well, they're completely redoing the well here at the house. New pumps, new everything. It'll be purified and filtered. It'll be better than bottled water when they're done. Same at the church.
How deep are they having to dig it?
They're not having to dig anything. It's fine. It just filled up with water and murky mud and stuff. So they're having to purge it, which they've already done, and cleansing it. And that's what they're doing in the house now.
Okay.
Finishing up this great man right here and
Yeah.
his team. What they are is they're a Fortune 500 company out of Pennsylvania. They go around and set up solar systems and dig wells.
You're basically part of the family here, essentially. You've been with them for a long time.
We come up here to check on a buddy of ours in Bakersville.
Okay.
And we come back the back way through Red Hill and come down here, and we'll say, let's just go see what's up here.
So you just happened to pop by.
Yeah, we happened to pop by. This was, the hurricane hit on the 27th, and we were here the 29th. It rose 38 feet and was running about 74 mile an hour coming through here.
That's probably why that gigantic bridge got ripped out.
28-ton section of bridge was floated over 300 feet. Now, see, over in Bakersville, nobody's talking about the 2 tornadoes that came through there and ripped that place to shred.
2 tornadoes?
2 tornadoes.
On top of everything else?
On top of everything else. So when you go up there, you look at the hillside like this, there's no trees. They're all laid over.
because tornadoes came down.
Families that have been holding white poplars and oaks for years, thinking they're going to harvest them now because they're ready, they can't. They lost all that money. The income's gone because the hurricane took them all out. You can't even get in there to cut them because they're stacked over one another.
Yeah.
So it's a ton of stuff lost that people aren't promoting. One thing out here, no local, no state, no federal government of help of any kind whatsoever has been here. This is all prior service military, guys out of Ohio, guys out of Pennsylvania, and groups like
the Save Our Allies group.
Save Our Allies.
And you guys, they've been doing a good job to help renovate the general store and get them back up on their feet.
It's just in a week's time. I mean, it's a tremendous difference.
Yeah, they're good
folks, man. If you'd have seen it a week ago, you wouldn't have believed what it looks like today.
Was there still like mud inside a week ago?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was probably about half inch, maybe an inch of mud in some places where it was partially mucked out. They finally cut an access hole, so they're getting most of the mud and dirt out from under the floor up underneath there that washed in.
Okay.
Because you're looking at about 7 feet, 6.5 feet in the main part of the store they're in now. And if you go over into where the furniture store was, one over, it's a little over 8 feet.
Yeah, because the water level there was like 9 to 10 feet high inside of the building. You could see the old water line. That's absolutely nuts. Like to think that, and I was talking to Miss Whitson, who was up on the top floor, and they were flooded out on the bottom floor. Like they couldn't leave. That's crazy.
So it reached the 7th step. They were wondering if it was going to come up any higher. They sit there and watch water come from the back door, the side door, blow out the windows, and wash everything they had out the front windows.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That.
Me either. I mean, I've heard the story a bunch of times, and I can't. No matter how many times I sit here and try to fathom it or replay it in my mind, I can't.
It's hard for anybody that's never experienced that in person to grasp how probably scary that would have been, especially knowing how isolated you are from any major thoroughfare or any gas station or any fire station. Hey, look, man, I appreciate your time. I know you guys have a lot of work to do and a lot of stuff going on, and I'm sure that the Whitsons are super grateful for everything you've done. And I think that's one of the things that's been the silver lining to this whole event, is just seeing local folks coming together to help each other out. Because at the end of the day, all the politics and all the nonsense goes out the window when this happens, because nobody cares. Hey, when people need help, we as Americans, they come together and they help each other and they do the right thing and they take care of their brothers and sisters out there that are hurting, And that's been, I think, the silver lining to this whole thing, is seeing people come together like that. So
it is. It kind of renews your faith in humanity a little bit.
It does. And it also is a reminder that there are good people out there, and that we still, and hopefully inspires other people to do the same thing when this happens in their local community, if it's in a different state or wherever. So I think that's a good message.
Yeah, and the main thing that people need to understand is, if you're not coming to truly get hands-on and help, just riding by and taking pictures is a nuisance. It stops and slows things down. It slows the progress down.
Yeah.
I don't mind people coming by, but just do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, for sure. That's I mean, there's a lot of tourism stuff going on, and that's not really helpful if they're not actually trying to do something to either bring attention or raise awareness about it, or hey, what kind of things can people do to help you guys? What do you guys need? Are you guys getting enough support for this location? Do you guys have everything you need now?
This is taken care of.
Okay.
Financially and skilled labor. It's done. This whole thing's done. Okay. From the roof slapped down to the basement, it's covered.
Good.
Once we get through with this, we'll move over whatever's not done in the store, and the rest of the building we'll cover that as well.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's good to hear, man.
When we're through with this area, we're going to go to another one.
Move on to the next one.
There's years of work to be done here.
Yeah. I was in Black Mountain at a children, an orphanage out there. There's the Black Mountain Children's Home, and they had the 101st Airborne out there helping clear a landslide from one of their retreat centers. So I know they were out in Black Mountain, but up in these remote areas.
Pensacola also, 101st.
Pensacola? Okay. Yeah, we went to Pensacola, I think the weekend of October 12th, and talked to some of the volunteer firefighters over there. They got hit pretty hard too. All right, well, hey man, again, I appreciate your time. It means a lot, and hopefully people will hear the story and be supportive of the other communities that need help.
Yeah, I appreciate what y'all are doing. Save Your Allies are doing great here.
Yeah.
Sean, the rest of the group, they're amazing people.
Yeah, they're good folks, man.
If anybody wants to give to something that's actually out here, actually working, actually providing and producing results, donate.
Okay. All right, well, there you go. That's it. All right, we're back at Soulshine Farm here in Double Island, North Carolina, just outside of Green Mountain, North Carolina, where a large majority of the tents that you guys donated money for are staged, ready for the Amish to come down to start building houses for the people in these communities in Western North Carolina. So I think 50 Amish are going to be down here, and they're going to be staying in these tents that you guys helped purchase while they're building tiny homes for people across the state. So this is going to have a huge impact because it's going to enable the Amish to stay here throughout the wintertime and continue to send people down here so that they can continue to build these small homes for people. So that's a huge deal. That means that instead of just impacting 26 people, it's going to impact hundreds or potentially thousands of people. So in the long term, this is going to be huge. You can see the smokestack sticking out so that they can burn wood and they can heat the tents inside. We've got 16 of them set up over here. The other ones we gave away to families and folks that needed them in that way, but this is going to be huge. And this is this giant space out here in Double Island. They've got the Tesla generator stuff going on. This is the outdoor water purification, but this thing right here pulls moisture out of the air, like straight up out of the air, and makes purified water to drink just from sitting outside. And it's all powered by solar. And this is basically like a Tesla battery. So you can plug anything into it you need. It's completely waterproof, outdoor proof. That is the future right there. And I want one. But yeah, I mean, they've got you can see how many tents we set up here. There's just tons. You know, like I said, they've got about 50 people coming down to build tiny homes this weekend, this Friday, and they'll all be staying in these tents that you guys got. And this is all because of you guys. This isn't me. It's pretty unbelievable, you know, the things that are going to be able to get done with the amount of support that we've got out here for these folks. So, you know, so they've got these things set up all the way down to there. You see the last two down there in the back. Not only did I think our money go, the money that you guys donated and that we raised, not only do I think it's going to impact, you know, dozens of families instead of just 26, but I genuinely believe this is going to impact hundreds of people now because of how much this is going to support the community at large. So this is big picture stuff, and we couldn't have done this without each other and without all the work that you guys did and getting the word out and you know, helping raise money. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the hard work that you did getting the word out and sharing it around and passing it to people and telling them about it. And I didn't do this, you guys did this. You know, I just was a messenger. And this is an incredible thing, especially when you can see the impact. If we look at this right here, just all these tents, this is gonna house, each of these can hold 5 people plus a stove. So they'll be able to work throughout the entire winter time building tiny homes for people because of what you guys did. This has been an incredible experience. I'm super grateful again to the Save Our Allies folks for allowing me to ship all of these to their warehouse out in Asheville so that way we could have a place to stage everything. And I appreciate all of you for all of your generosity and just all the help you guys did in raising the money. And this is gonna help, like I said, hundreds of people. So I really appreciate you guys. And we're gonna keep doing cool stuff like this to help people because that's one of the reasons I started social media in the first place and really got into it, was so that we could make a difference in people's lives. It's very fitting to do God's work in God's country like this, I think. Anyway, you guys stay blessed out there and enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.